PSP AudioWare brings one of the most accurate and comprehensive mastering quality equalizers to the sonic spectrum with MasterQ2. MasterQ2 gives us an EQ, limiter, and stereo field width control. With MasterQ2, we're given 7 bands of extremely accurate EQ filters. The EQ includes a low-pass filter, high-pass filter, both with adjustable slopes. And the low and high bands have optional shelves. We're also given 3 mid-range peak-style filters. Each band has an adjustable frequency, Q, and gain range of plus or minus 24 dB, which is more than enough gain to tackle any project. The mid-frequency bands have a soft peak mode, which allows for a less resonant peak when using a lot of gain, giving you a more natural sound. The low-frequency band also has a linked filters mode, which allows its frequency controller to dynamically adjust all of the frequency bands in the EQ simultaneously. When engaged, you'll see small plus and minus buttons on each frequency knob. You can use the plus or minus buttons to snap the frequency to different harmonics of the fundamental, set by the low frequency knob. This is extremely useful for tailoring overly resonant material, getting rid of buzzes and hums, or when fine-tuning instruments with high harmonic content like pianos, acoustic guitars, or even complete mixes. Each filter also has a solo button where you can audition different bands. This makes it extremely useful for finding problem frequencies fast. The graph display shows us exactly what frequencies we're EQing, and the color-coded knobs make it easy to see what's going on. The range slider can dynamically adjust the range of the entire EQ, adding or reducing up to 150% of the original gain. The process area contains the controls that you'll use to bypass the EQ filters, enable the FAT algorithm, and reset your settings. You can also choose which part of your audio signal to process. The FAT button you can think of as a high quality mode. It stands for Frequency Authentication Technique, and is one of the features that makes MasterQ2 superior for anything that requires high quality processing. Most digital EQs use infinite impulse response filters, or IIRs, and this causes a phase delay in the frequencies that we're EQing. This is what can give digital EQs that smearing type of sound, especially in higher frequencies where the frequency peaks are closer together. In linear phase EQs, finite impulse response filters are used, or FIRs. These types of EQs will delay the audio that's being EQ'd by the same amount that the phase change is causing. This, however, can result in a pre-ringing artifact. MasterQ2 takes these errors and pushes them up an octave past the Nyquist frequency, or the sample rate, and simply truncates them or chops them off so that they're no longer a part of our signal. To the right, you can reverse your polarity for your left and right signals independently, and even choose what part of your signal gets processed by the limiting section. As you can see, there's plenty of routing options that make this plugin incredibly versatile. And as a final touch, you can even adjust the stereo width. Down below, you have the LIM-SAT output section. It has 7 different algorithms that can limit or saturate your sound in different ways. And this includes the famous PSP saturation algorithm from the esteemed Vintage Warmer plugin, built right into the Vint lim setting. There's also an adjustable ceiling that determines at what level the LIM-SAT algorithm will kick in. MasterQ2 also supports frequencies up to 192 kHz. It has an 80-bit extended floating point sound engine, giving this plugin unparalleled computational headroom against all of its competition. Listen with your ears and not your eyes. Make PSP AudioWare's MasterQ2 an integral part of your audio processing.